Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this beginner course on how to teach the Tajweed Made Easy book. Inshallah, I'll be going through this quickly. Um, this is for anyone who's in any level about teaching this book, inshallah. So this book is very beneficial, inshallah, and that's the reason we're using it. And I'll just go over some of the main things. It's something you can read over here, inshallah, about the significance of reading with Tajweed. Some du'as over here, of course, to learn, inshallah. And you can also read this. So we'll start over here, inshallah. So teaching methods and techniques, something to also read, inshallah. We'll go over it quickly. Students are our responsibility. If they learn Quran properly, it'll be a continuous source of blessings and sadaqah jariyah for us. We're going to be using the talqeen method through this book. Talqeen method means the teacher reads first and the student follows. And this is the best known method. And we'll be using other things as well to help with the learning. Fluency must be developed from this book before they go to the Quran, otherwise they'll be slow in the Quran. The following must be adopted on the parts of the students so that they get the full ability to learn if they're different types of learners. So listening, repeating, and reading must be done by them. And repeating is something really important. I'm just going to state it over here real quickly, inshallah. Remember repeating. And then make the students memorize all the fat letters, يعني the حروف الاستعلاء or حروف مفخمة, or the heavy letters, and all the throat letters. And that's how we kind of begin this book, inshallah. And this is going to be really important for them to know out throughout the book, بإذن inshallah. So just keep that in your mind for now. There's some other things that we want to also make sure you guys maintain when teaching this book, and that is to maintain a uniform practice throughout the book. So have the students, repeat a word or letter, it depends where they are, in a line 10 times, and they should become fluent enough to do it in one breath. That only comes from what? Practice and repeat and reading again and again. So this is something that's really important. Takrar, we call it in Arabic. Do not allow the students to proceed to the next lesson until they fully master their makhraj and makharij for the plural. And this, we've picked you as teachers to help them on this. If their foundation in makharij is broken over here, when they get to Quran, it will be really bad. And the tajweed rules is going to be towards the end of the book, and that's something as well that they need to master before completing this book. Constant revision is important. So before going to the next page for any lesson, make sure you revise the recent pages before, that the student themselves also revise the 5 most recent pages, and that they practice over the weekend. And of course, this is going to be something that the parents are going to have to help with. And of course, using sometimes quizzes and tests to test them on tajweed rules. Test them after every lesson, like randomly, what is this word, this word? And again, oh, we come back here. Parent involvement is key. Um, Over here, there's suggested test pages after specific pages in the book, 14, 44, and 60. So if we go to 14, what is page 14 talking about? 14, we get to over here after they learn how to connect, how connecting letters look like. And it's really important that they know how every letter looks like in every form, in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So you can test them on that, inshallah. And then 44, if we move all the way here, that is when they get to the rules of gunna. And 44, when you're going to be testing them, that means you're going to be testing on everything before that. So that means the shadda, that means sukun, wawlin, small alif, ya madda, all of these lessons that you go through with them. I would say that you should perhaps do a smaller test in between that. So let's say they finish Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, have a test on all three of those, and then Fathatain, Kasratain, Dhammatain. And then, yes, those are like kind of lessons that go together. And then it says page 60. Page 60 is pretty much you get to the end of the book, and that's when you test them on the whole book. And at that point, they should be fluent, inshallah, if they've been taught, following this method, inshallah, by the will of Allah, they should be good to move on to the Quran. And yeah, there is definitely ways on how to motivate students, and that's something that as someone as who's teaching the students, candies is a good way to motivate them. But I would say more than giving them candies and prizes, something that students gain much more benefit and they gain confidence in themselves is when you tell them that they did well. Giving them this confidence in themselves, this self-assurance, this self-esteem increasing. Their self-esteem is very important. And that's like an intrinsic reward, not something which is external. Intrinsic rewards will develop them as characters and people who will take on this reading and this reciting and learning the Quran to another level where it's not dependent on prizes such as candies. Of course, use that as well, but let the main source of your motivation for these students be the good words and compliments and motivating words, inspiring them, telling them they're doing a great job and that, they just need to push a little bit more and they've got it. And you can tell when a student is going through sometimes like having a tough time. And if you just say a couple of nice words to them, you'll give them this unimaginable amount of willpower to go through these obstacles that they're currently facing. That's some advice over here. Inshallah. Concentration and discipline in the class is important. The teacher should have full control of the class in order to provide the best learning environment and transfer maximum benefit to the students. So this is really important. And as teachers, I will state this again. As teachers, you need to have rules for your class and having let's say like a one-time washroom limit for each student, unless of course there's exceptions. But there should be a kind of an atmosphere of okay, I'm in the Quran class, I focus here, I give it my all, and I'm not going to distract other students because the teacher will not be happy with me. And this is just making them understand this is really important. To learn anything, they need discipline, of course. For the Quran, to get them to that level, we want to make sure that their concentration and discipline is not being affected. So the teacher, inshallah, whoever's teaching them with this book, or in generally, this is not even a Quran class, you should be in control of how the class is running. If there's any naughty students, we talked about, how to deal with them. If anyone's not doing their work, how do we deal with them? And if you need some pointers on that, you can reach out to me as well, inshallah, for that, bi'idhnillah. Barakallahu fikum. And then, of course, dua for your students and for yourself and for the acceptance of this effort. SubhanAllah, it's not an easy task we take on, but it is definitely a noble and honorable one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help is required. فبإذن الله وبمشيئة الله we're able to go forward with this. We'll come to this inshallah in the next video. Barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.